All right, welcome back. Joining us now virtually, we have local attorney Alex Stanford. Now, if you were with us last week, Alex, we spoke about the LCG lawsuit against those Antifa rallies that were posted on Facebook that turned out not to be true. So we were talking about kind of the debate on whether it was free speech or negligent. And you have some examples to kind of help us understand this further.
Yes. First off, good to be here. I'm glad as always. The difference, whether or not a case is a free speech case or a negligence case really depends on what are they seeking. The plaintiff has a cause of action and they're asking for a relief from the court. Okay. Generally in free speech cases, the idea is there is an injunction where you're asking the court to gag someone and say, you can't say this. Whereas in a negligence action, what you're saying is the defendant did something that they should not be allowed to do, and that caused damages that we would like them to have to pay. So this particular lawsuit is alleging that the pranks, the fake Antifa protests, caused the Lafayette Consolidated Government to take them seriously and dispatch them like officers that required payment and a lot of security measures that required cost to taxpayers. And because there was no basis for those events, that really it was just an attempt to spend taxpayer dollars and waste public funds. And they're asking the court to make the creator of these events have to pay those expenses back. And a lot of people think that because the nucleus of the cause of action is a speech issue, that you shouldn't even be allowed to recognize the negligence thing. And that really isn't the case. There's the canonical example of doing trying fire in a crowded movie theater, and the law says, that's not protected. We can make you not say that, but that doesn't address the issue of, well, what if someone was to yell fire in a theater and then somebody got trampled to death because there was a stampede on the way out? Would that death constitute a damage that the declarant, the person who made the claim, would they be responsible to pay that? And so there can be a central nucleus of operative fact that has implications that touch upon speech, but there's a whole other side of construing it as a negligence issue. And if you look at what the attorney for the creator, I forget his name, what he said was that their defense is based on the fact that, well, the officers, the police department, government all knew that this was a prank, so they shouldn't have taken it seriously. But in the same statement, he says that many people in the city did take it seriously, which was what he wanted them to do. So I think his whole defense has been castrated by his own attorney, so that's not good. But I do think that there is something for a judge to adjudicate. It's not a frivolous lawsuit. I think there's a very interesting question of law about, what are you allowed to do as a prank? You're not given immunity from the consequences of a prank just because it was a prank. You could still cause harm. You could still cause losses and damages through a prank as much as you could through something that's serious. And so I think that's the real problem they're going to deal with in this case.
Yeah, Alex, you always have great examples and explanations of this to kind of help us understand some of the legal issues that are happening in today's world. Thank you so much for joining us again to kind of break this all down further. If you guys want to rewatch this for Alex's examples, we're going to post this on our website, KLAF.com. Before we go to break, let's check in with Adam.